So today, just working on refining some of Ferguson's training. And what we're working on is developing a natural return to heel position. So when he goes ahead of me or behind me, he comes back to the position on my side. And this is not a show heel, this is just a natural heel where it's a comfortable position to go out walking with, so it doesn't matter if it's on your left or on your right. So I will work it with both sides, but we've practiced a little bit on the right so far and haven't done anything on the left, so I can show you what it kind of looks like after you've worked on it a little bit and what it looks like when you start. So to start, I will do a little bit of a review and just have Ferguson getting rewarded on that spot, just doing a few things that he knows already, some automatic sits, some spins, little training things that we've done in the past. And as I start this, I will then toss the treat away from me, let him go get it, and when he comes back, I'm going to lure him into the position I want him in, and only reward when he's in that position. And when he gets there, I'm going to give him a few jackpots for being in that position. And so now he's kind of thinking about it going away, and he popped out of position and was getting ready to run. So I'm going to just bring him back, reward the reward zone again, make it super rewarding, toss away. And what this is building, if you're consistent with it, and you always reward on this spot, in this position, this is going to become your dog's default position. So this is something you can do when you're on a walk, when you're out in public, or when you're in the backyard, or even when you are giving treats at home. Whatever position you want your dog in the most is the position you should reward in, so that they start to learn that this spot next to you, when I'm facing in this direction, gets me good things. And anywhere else will get me things sometimes, but not always, or never. So depending on how much you want to structure that point of coming into the one spot that you want them to return to when you're outside, the more you reward on it, the stronger it becomes, and the more times they will go to that spot for their reward rather than any other spot. Which is why you see a lot of times when you have a dog return to you, they come straight up to the front of you, because this is where they get rewarded and praised and paid attention to the most, is right here. So the more you reward here or here and pay attention to them on those positions, the more they're going to start to choose to be in those spots. So this is a simple little way to get a very solid heel where the dog starts to learn that this position is the most rewarding position in the whole world. Yes, good boy. And when I'm starting this on either side, it'll look the same. So if I go back and do it on the left, I'm going to take him around. We'll do a switch. Good. Jackpot on this side. And this can be done in both directions. So he can go ahead of me, and I can reward him back into position this way. And reward a little jackpot, and he keeps dropping them, so this works much better when they're a little more clever about eating their treats, so they're not spitting them out and going to chase them. I'm not going to reward that, because that was him coming up after a very high value treat, and I want him to stay in position no matter what. So if you have a dog that's doing this, where he's popping his butt out to the side, there's a few ways you can fix that. One way is to, okay, so now we're going to go over something else. So what he's doing right now is he's sticking at me because he wants this treat in my hand. And he's putting his nose as close as he can to me, so he's got the closest chance of getting it. Now he's arranging himself up front, because this is where he normally gets the treats. And he normally gets a treat when his nose is facing me. So the way to fix that, you can first start rewarding when he is not looking at you. So he's looking forward or he's looking away from you. So you can start rewarding as he turns his head away and release the treat there. You can also line yourself up next to a wall so he doesn't have the space to turn sideways. So if I'm working with him, he's on my left, I can come up here and he's gonna go around because he doesn't want to get into that spot. So you just reposition him. And then when I stop and he sits, the wall will help keep him in place without me having to do anything. If he scoots ahead, you just bring him right back, reposition. Good. And keep rewarding to the outside of his body to reinforce the fact that his nose does not have to be near me in order for him to get a treat, and he does not need to be in the front of me to get a treat. So going back to what I was originally talking about, is you can play this game with them going forward away from you or behind. So if I'm walking and I want to practice him coming, catching up to me and getting in place on his own, I can start walking again. And he does a lot more on the right, which is why he's choosing the right. Good. So I can keep walking here. And then as I walk, I drop a treat behind me. As he catches up, I reward the jackpot. If he gets out of position, I'm going to set him right back. So this is a good show of how consistency matters. Because he does so much on the right, he's constantly trying to get back to the right because this is where he gets most of the treats. So if I do equal work on both sides and we do as much work on the left as we do the right, then he will stay on the side that I am working on at that time because he knows he gets rewarded in both places. So what he's showing me is that we need to do a little more practice on the left and less on the right because he's got the right down. Now it's time to work over here. So whenever your dog is doing things like this, they're not being disobedient. They're just showing you that they've done more work on one side versus the other. Dogs learn in pictures. So when they are doing things like this, they're showing you what you've missed in your training and the steps that you need to go back and review. So when they're showing you this, it's more of a gift of them showing you how to be more balanced in your training as far as when you're doing things equally, not balanced training. Good. And continually ignoring when they go up front, putting them back in position, rewarding when they're in the position you like. If you do this enough times, they will figure out that it is much more efficient for them to stay on the side where the treat is delivered, rather than having to do the work of going in front, looking at you, there you go, and then going back to that position. So he's already starting to figure out that when he stays in this position, good things happen faster. When he gets out of position, he has to do a bunch of work to get back into it to get what he wants. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the next one.